spider conch because it has these pokey bits here. I'll brush your hair after when the teacher's not really paying attention. These two are really popular around our reef. Shell earrings that I made recently, and it has the scalloped edge. Goes into the swirl. Under the sea, everything's better, everything's better. Under the sea. Most prized Dinglehopper in my collection. A new student, how exciting. Miss, they can sit with me. No, I promise I've been paying attention. No, I have the lesson all here and I've been taking notes. Yeah, I can help them catch up. Okay, come. Hello there. I'm Ariel. It's fantastic to meet you. What's your name? That's a beautiful name. Did you just move to this reef? A little shy? You don't talk much? Well, if you've just moved here with your family, then I'm sure soon enough you'll meet my dad. He's the king, King Triton. Yeah, kind of a big deal around here. But he's really strict, so I mean, don't take him too seriously. Well, I know it can be really nerve-wracking going to a new school. I'm sure you're probably pretty nervous, and I don't blame you for being shy, but I promise I don't bite. I'm not a sea siren. Can you imagine? Oh, that'd be bad. Well, I can show you what we've been working on in class. I'm sure it's probably similar to what you were doing at your last summer school. Okay, not much of a talker. Yeah, I got that. I can also afterwards show you my collection of Dinglehoppers. I love collecting things. I'm not a hoarder. Don't tell them that. I'm not a hoarder, I promise. I just find such beautiful things on the ocean floor and in shipwrecks and in other places, and they just have my name written right on them, I swear. I promise. So I'm getting to the lesson. No, look, I put my Dinglehopper down. I'm showing them. The teacher is so worried about you getting caught up. Okay, so what we've been working on is shells and their anatomy, like scallops, and we're starting on starfish next week. And we also this week are gonna do more fish diagrams. So we have a test coming up, and it'll be about all of these things. Normally we do pop quizzes on the shells. I find it can be helpful to learn it with a friend. That's why I usually have Flounder. He's my best friend. He's a tropical fish. I usually have him make little flashcards for me and we practice. Or Sebastian. He's a hermit crab. He's less of a friend, more of my dad's royal advisor, but still important, of course. I also have 6 siblings. 6 sisters, rather. Do you have any siblings? Did they move here? Okay, very private person. I see. Well, let's go over some of the shells, shall we? Shells 101. So, I'll just go over each one individually, okay? No pressure if you can't remember them yet. We have our sand dollar. Sand dollar. Sand dollar, sand dollar, sand dollar. And then here we have our little neck clam, which is a very rounded shell. As you can see, a very rounded One that's probably going to be really easy for you to remember is the spider conch, because it has these pokey bits here. I love conch shells, they're so beautiful. I have a few in my collection. So that one's probably the easiest to remember. Do you recognize any of these shells from your old school? Any classes you did? You learned about frogs. It's interesting. Normally we don't learn about frogs because don't really get any here in the bottom of the sea. It's interesting. Okay. You must be from a faraway reef. Anyways, we have mud snails. These ones are cute and they're small. They're just itty bitty. And we've got this one here. It kind of looks like a stripey almost. And then we have another conch. This is the queen conch. It's the biggest. The crab conch, the spider conches rather, they can get quite long because of both sides, the spears. But these ones can get quite wide and they sound, of course, like the ocean, and you can blow through them and they make this really beautiful horn noise. Yeah, sometimes if the sea sirens are using their song to try and lure innocent sailors, Dad will blow his queen conch to cover up their siren songs, because those innocent sailors, it's not their fault if they fall overboard. Well, sometimes it is, but who knows, maybe we'll have a handsome prince fall overboard one time and they'll want to be with the mermaid. Wouldn't that be nice? Could you imagine? That's why I have to always make sure my hair is perfectly brushed with my Dinglehopper. Okay, I'll brush your hair after when the teacher's not really paying attention. Okay, so that's the queen conch, and they come in these beautiful pinky colors. We've got our yellow cockle, which is very similar to the scalloped shell, but this part here is a little different. This part here around the bottom is a bit different there. Of course, you have a starfish. That one's easy to remember though. Starfish. And then you've got some more smaller ones, the coquinas. And the coag clam. I know that a lot of humans eat mussels and clams and oysters. Oh, that's interesting. You don't hear a lot of mermaids eating those things. You've tried them? No, I don't eat them. I know sea sirens do, and they'll eat crystallized fish friends. It's quite horrible. That's why you just have to keep a fin's length away from them just to be safe, because they'll pretend to be your friend, but trust me, they aren't. Yes, I always try to keep a distance from the sea sirens. Normally they don't come to this side of the reef too often, but you do have to be careful, okay? Yeah, if a sea siren approaches you, just let me know, okay? Yeah, stick with me and Flounder and Sebastian. You'll be much better off. Okay, and then you have their abalone here. These are beautiful and I collect them. I have a few in my cavern. Come in these gorgeous colors. And then you have the mussels. Black mussels. And then you've got your little coquinas that I think I went over. Itty bitty, and you could put the yellow cockle bubbles and the coquinas on seashell bras, which I think you have a couple on there. It's really beautiful, by the way. I love your seashell bra. It's really detailed. Mine is quite simple and purple, but I do have some shell earrings that I made recently, and I've got my gorgeous green tail, which I do love, although yours is really pretty. It's really beautiful. I'd say it's almost too pretty to be born with, like it was just made out of magic or something. But obviously that's not the case. Okay, and then we have, last but not least on this page, the Nautilus, which has these sort of stripy things like the zebra. I've read about those on the human land. Humans have such fun animals. They've got really tall ones that have those long neck things. What are they called? I forget. Giraffes, yes. Elephants. Oh, are those the ones that make the horn noise? So cool. You've seen an elephant before? Where on the coastline have you seen an elephant? Oh, I see. It seems like you know a lot about the human land. I've always wanted to venture closer and closer to shore. Father says it's dangerous and that I shouldn't go up to the surface, but that's just trauma speaking. Perhaps you could come over after school and tell me more about what you know about the humans and their world. I'd love to know more. Okay. Then this one's easy to remember because it's quite large and it has all the stripy bits. So those are our first page of shells. But we do have some more, which is why it's better to try and memorize it with a friend because it can get a little confusing. This one here is the turban snail. That one you can remember because it has some green to it and the blue. You also have the bay scallop here. There are a few different types of scallops, so these ones it's important to know the distinction. Bay scallops are smaller and they're normally a darker color, whereas cruise ship passing, a little bit loud. And then we also have the regular sea scallop, which is normally like a pinky or orangey color, and they're a little bit larger. Okay, then we've got our little periwinkle shell. These ones are so cute. I love these ones. And our oyster, like I said, I know a lot of humans eat those. Oyster. Okay. Then we have the worm snail, which is one of my favorites because it's quite wiggly and easy to remember. I like the ones that are easy to remember. And then we've got the knobbed whelk, which kind of looks like a conch, but it has these knobs and little pokey things so that you can know the difference. It's really just about remembering their differences. Okay, we have our star snail, which is one of my favorites because it has all these little pokey things. Kind of reminds me of a sea urchin. And down here, the limpet. This one's hard to remember because it kind of just looks plain. It's forgettable. Our razor clam. Now we have two long shells. The razor clam and the auger. Easy to remember because they're very different. more here. That being the shark eye snail. Just really beautiful and swirly. It's quite similar to the stripy one that I showed you on the first page. Look, even I need to remember them for the pop quiz. The Nautilus. Similar to the Nautilus, but a bit different. I find that the shark eye has more of a swirl. Goes into more of that eye shape, yes. Then we have the Rose Murex. Similar to a conch, but a lot more knobby, a lot more pointy, a bit more abstract. Our common nutmeg shell, which is really beautiful. Similar to the conch, but you'll notice the pink is on the outside, not on the inside lip. Our sunray Venus, which looks like a sunray in the sun hitting the surface of the water. So beautiful. Our steamer clam. The bumblebee snail. This one's cute because it's stripy. A sea urchin. Have to be careful with these because they can get stuck on your tail sometimes. And then last but not least, the lentil warp, which is similar to the hermit crab shell. So I know it can be a bit confusing because there are many different shells, and if you weren't really learning that at your old school, it might seem kind of overwhelming. But we do have some worksheets to help. I mean, we don't have to do it now because you just kind of went over the shells. You want to try? Okay, we can try. It's no problem. Let's see. What shells are these? We have this one here. It's purple. And it has the little swirl at the bottom. What shell is that one? Very good. Okay, so you weren't listening. You listen a lot better than I do in class. I'm really into thingamabobs and whatchamacallits and who's and what's it's. Less into this type of stuff, but I'm sure the teacher will like you. We have this one here. Just kind of similar to the last one, but slightly different. Okay. What shell do you think this one is? Very good. You really were listening. Great job. This one here is one of my favorites. This is, do you remember? Kind of has the scalloped edge. Goes into the swirl. Do you remember what this one is called? Close. The eye. There you go. Good remembering. And then at the end here, we have this one, which I find is easy to remember. I think you can do it. It's the edge here. Not to be confused with the smaller one. The little ridges. Yes, very good. The scalloped, like the rose scalloped. You're very smart. Down here, do you remember this one? That's slightly bigger and striped. The Nautilus. You're close. Nautilus. Down down here, this one's kind of similar to a conch, but this one I need to study more. This one kind of tricks me. This one is easy though. You should remember this one has those pokey bits. And the little ridges there with the lip. Crab, the crab conch, yes, very good. Or rather, sorry, the spider conch. Spider conch is what it's called, yes. Make sure you write that one down because you don't want to accidentally put crab conch and then blame it on me. Spider conch, like a spider. 1, 2, 3. And then last but not least, you have this one, which kind of is like the worm shell because it's swirly. It's a bit pointier. I don't think the test is going to have all the shells on it, but it'll have a select few like this. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shells out of 8, which I would say is pretty good considering you just started learning them. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8. So these 3 we have to study a little bit more, but you did really good. You should be proud of yourself. So after shells, we started working on some anatomy of scallops. This one's trickier because it goes over all the different parts of the scallop. The gills and the muscles, intestines. So this one can be definitely a little bit more difficult to memorize and understand. Little tentacles and eyes and things. So I would say you can come over later and we can review that. The diagrams are where it gets a bit trickier because we do scallops, we do the fish, which you'll see, and then also starfish. You have the sea anemones, which I find are a little bit easier to remember. Brain coral, the staghorn coral, soft coral, and then the polyp stony coral. These are flounders colors. And then you have the anemones, strawberry, plumose, and candy. These 2 are really popular around our reef. I love the plumose. I think they're so beautiful. And then you can see here where we started working on our fish diagrams. Our fish diagrams. These ones can be definitely more complicated and a little bit, like you say, overwhelming, daunting, because it's a lot to memorize. But we can go over it when you come over more. The brain, eye, kidneys, spine, the dorsal fin, muscles, soft dorsal fin, your lateral line, the scales of course, the caudal fin, fin base, pelvic fin. So there's a lot of different aspects of the fish that we need to learn. You'd think I would know more because of Flounder, but it's not like him and I really discuss his intestines. No, we chat more about little treasures I find at the bottom of the sea. So, that's kind of our main lesson, but I can tell the teacher is marking some things and in their own little world. So, if you want, I can show you my Dinglehopper collection. Dinglehopper be used to brush the hair, and I have a wide assortment of them. A fork? That doesn't seem right. I don't think it's called a fork. What would you to eat with? What would I use to eat with it? Doesn't seem very useful. No. A fork, that can't be right. Doesn't make any sense. It must be a hairbrush, yes. A Dinglehopper. You silly duck. That's okay. A Dinglehopper. So this is my more plasticky one. I know it's plastic because humans put a lot of that stuff in our oceans. But this one's lightweight, so I take it to class and on little trips when the family, we go and explore new reefs on vacation. Our father has to meet other kings and whatnot. So this is good for traveling or class because it's lightweight to keep in my bag. See, it combs through the hair just so nicely, gets rid of any tangles which do accumulate from swimming around all day, of course. You have such soft, beautiful hair. Let's see. I can maybe comb through it a little. I know that when I'm stressed or anxious, that combing through my hair with the Dinglehopper definitely helps me relax. See, doesn't that feel nice? Good. There we go. Perfect. So soft. Such soft hair. Get these pieces here too. You don't have too many tangles. Definitely less than I get, but I think my hair is a little longer than yours. Okay, so that's the one I normally keep at school, but I bring all of them with me usually. This one I actually made myself. I carved it out of driftwood I found on the shore. Don't tell Father that I went to shore, but thought it was really cool that I carved it and made it myself. I will say Sebastian didn't like that I went close to shore, but he did find it pretty neat that I was able to make this. I told him I got it a lot farther from shore than I did. This one is wooden. I find it doesn't comb the hair as well, but I'm just more so proud that I was able to make it. I can make you one if you like, a wooden Dinglehopper. I think it'll be very useful for you. Okay, that one. And then I have this one, which is probably my fanciest. It's golden. Fell off of a cruise ship one time. I only think a cruise ship would have such fancy Dinglehoppers like this. Oh, you can hear the sound of the rain hitting the surface of the water. A storm must be coming. We should definitely go up to the surface and make sure that all the ships are okay. I know we're not supposed to, but we wouldn't want to see siren luring in an innocent sailor, especially when the seas are rough like this and it's wavy. We want to make sure we save them and we can take them back to shore, because the last thing we'd want is to see siren getting their hands on them. They won't take them back to shore. Trust me. Okay. voice is one of my best qualities. Do you like to sing? Well, we can help you find your voice. My singing is much softer than a siren song. So this one is my fanciest. It's a little bit heavier duty because it is metal and gold. I think it's both because of the sound. So I don't bring it often to class, but it's a good thing I brought it today. And then we have this one, which is more of my everyday Dinglehopper because it matches my tail. Oh my goodness. The storm is really bad out there. We definitely need to make sure that all the sailors are okay. Hopefully a handsome one falls overboard and we can save them. I mean, I'm not hoping a handsome sailor falls overboard, but if he just so happens to land in our reef, well, we just want to make sure we help them before a sea siren helps them. Oh, thunder. The seas are going to be rough. Normally they cancel class early if it gets too bad. The undercurrent can be quite a lot, and then the papers go flying, and it's a whole thing. Anyways, we have this one, and then I have this one here, which only has 3 tridents, prongs. I'm not sure what you'd call them, little spears. This one doesn't work as well, but I still keep it in my collection. And then I have this one, which is my rarest because I think it's hundreds of years old. I found it at a very old shipwreck, pirate shipwreck, and look at it. It's covered in seaweed and algae and pearls. It's clearly been down here for quite some time. And look, it has all these different spears, many more than a normal Dinglehopper. It's much bigger too, so I think it's extra special. Yes. This is my most prized Dinglehopper in my collection, and I can brush your hair with it if you'd like. See, it's really good at getting out the tangles. Works so good. Comb through your hair. Good. Perfect. Comb. I have a couple other things in my collection that aren't of much use, like this, which I can kind of see myself in, but I'm upside down, which is rather confusing. I'm always upside down in this one. A spoon? That can't be right. You have such silly names for things. I do like the names though. And then we have this, which is one of my prized possessions. I don't like to bring it to class too much because I'm scared one of the other mermaids might steal it. But I can see my reflection in it. Oh, and I would say I'm rather beautiful, I think. My hair is quite red, yes. Far more red than any of my sisters, so don't know where that sheen came from, but anyways. Again, you can see our beautiful self in it. Oh, don't touch it though. It's really prized and I wouldn't want anything to happen to it, okay? The worst thing would be if a sea siren got their hands on this. I could only imagine what they would do with that power, the envy that they have for their own beauty. Goodness, imagine them being able to see it all the time. They'd be unstoppable. If you like, I can even put in a little starfish clip in your hair. I find these are so beautiful. Here, let's do that. Just clip back a little bit of your hair. Clip, clip, clip that back. See, that's sweet. And then we'll comb out bits around. A little bit more, even though they don't really need it. It's just soothing. starting. Miss, are we gonna end class early? Well, I can start to feel the undercurrent, and I wouldn't want, any of the pages to go missing from a recent assignment or something. No, I'm handing that in, yes, but I wouldn't want it to get lost or anything. Really? Okay, so I think class is getting canceled early then. Do you want to come over to mine and I can have you meet my sisters and my father, and then we can sneakily go up to the surface and make sure that all the sailors are okay, because it's definitely getting bad out there. No, but you can't tell my father we're gonna do that, okay? Because he won't let us. We just have to kind of slip away. But if we go back after school, say hello and introduce you, I think that you won't worry as much. You don't want to meet my father? Oh, she's very shy. Okay, well, do you still want to go and explore the surface? Make sure that all the ships are okay? I think it'll be good, and it's a safe thing to do. Like I said, we want to be any sea sirens up there. Okay? Well, I'll be around this area if you want to just meet me in a little bit. Okay, you want to talk to the teacher? That's fine. Well, I'm going to get Flounder, and we'll meet you in a little bit then, okay? But I'm so excited that I've got a new friend, and we're going to have so much fun. If you're really feeling stressed out like this and anxious and shy, you could always book in at the Lagoon Spa. That place is so relaxing. Oh my goodness. They do a whole nice tail pampering, and they brush your hair with, well, not Dinglehopper, it's actually something else, but anyways. And they can just give your skin a good pampering, a little refresh. I think that's what you need after a big move to a new reef. Okay, here. Let me write down their number. You can call them on your cell phone, okay? Okay, perfect. Good. Yeah, make an appointment. I think it'll help. We can always go at some point as well, and we can get matching tailicures. Okay. I will see you in a little bit then. Okay, bye now. I need to take all my Dinglehoppers. I wouldn't want anyone taking them. I told you it's getting bad, miss. I wouldn't lie about that.